Oh, what's happening, man? You're on mute. There you go. I can hear you.
There we go. Okay. I was having issues with my camera. It didn't want me to be great today, man. For whatever reason. I have no clue why, but yeah, it didn't want me to be great.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
How did it go for you today?
All right, not too bad. I mean, it was kind of choppy today, so I only took like two trades, so didn't do too much. Actually, something setting up right this second that I would have taken normally, but well, here we are.
Oh wow. You know what? I haven't even looked. What's brewing?
We're retesting that breakdown area from yesterday at 59.24. So there's definitely going to be some action around this area. I mean,
Oh
we're a
man.
little late in the day here, but I don't know. We'll see what direction it goes from there. But it's testing right now as we speak. We talked about that yesterday, how the odds are pretty high that we at least retest that area before we headed back down, and now we're doing that right at this moment. So.
And I was waiting. So kind of like you. I took one. I didn't like the movement. I didn't like how choppy it was. So the level that we talked about yesterday, I took a short there. And I was pretty much like, I'm not gonna sit here and fight it because the levels started getting real far between, and I'm like, I'm not gonna sit here and watch for it to finally make itself to the bottom or to the top of this thing for me to get in here again. It's Friday. Let me enjoy some time and let me do some other things. So
Yeah, not the greatest for breakout trading today. It's more of an outside in type day. If you're going to make money, that's the way to go.
All right. So I guess what we're going to be talking about today is suggesting some books. So let me add it here. So when I was looking at the books, I was really trying to think of things that kind of helped me along the way, and the beginner books that I started with, and then the intermediate books I went on to, and then the advanced books. So that's kind of how I have it. So some of these books, honestly, maybe, for the brand new trader, might be a little tough right out the gate, but I think eventually you'll be able to graduate to it. So let's get started. Here we go. So, especially on the beginner side, I thought this was definitely a good book for people to read. How to day trade for a living. This is what we're talking about. This is what we want to be about, to start working in this space, right? And so it's by Andrew. I'm thinking that's Aziz, right?
I think you're right.
I think I'm right, but yeah. So yeah, this book is a comprehensive guide that covers everything from the basics of day trading to advanced strategies. But it basically takes you along the timeline. I think it's a great book for you to dive into, especially if you're like, what is day trading about? How do I work in day trading? How do I look at charts? It's basically gives you all the beginnings that you would need. I really like this book, and I suggest it to people, especially if you're starting out your journey.
Definitely agree. I've read this one myself. Very good. It gives you kind of a feel of technical and the psychological side. So I definitely agree with you here. It's a good beginner book, not too crazy with the trading lingo if you're not super familiar yet. So this is a good beginner book for sure.
So yeah, I definitely, and by the way, all these books are on Amazon. I know most of us probably have Amazon accounts now. So if you are looking, you can definitely find them on Amazon. And what I'll also do is make sure that we put the titles in the video afterwards, so that way people can see it and also go to it. Because, by the way, because people have been asking like, hey, these little studies you guys are giving, can we get those? How do we get that? It's gonna come. We're gonna be able to share that with you guys.
Yep.
At a point. All right, next one. I think this is a great beginner as well too. Beginner guide to day trading online. This one also is a very great introductory book. Beginner. It covers the basics of the stock market as well as some simple trading strategies. I think this would be good for you just to get started, to really learn, and then be able to, start testing out some different things. getting acclimated to, once you start paper trading. I think this is a great one as well to kind of start off with. It's real simple. It's not, heavy analytical or anything like that. It's pretty basic. So what you think there?
I think you actually found a book that I haven't read yet, so that's a good one. Yeah, man, I never read this one, so you gave me a suggestion here today.
Oh, I got the sensei. I got him with one. And once again, this was Toni Turner, and it's on Amazon. So I guess we can move on to one that I know you've read because you've actually introduced me to this book.
Oh yeah,
The Disciplined Trader.
This is a classic, man. This is one you'll hear about all over the place.
So this is, to me, one of the best books that you can read. It's one of them. I think for me, anyways, there's going to be another one that I say that I think is going to be you must be a classic. I mean, it's a classic, but Douglas uncovering the underlying reasons for your lack of consistency. And, it helps traders uncover those things and start to build a plan, to where some of the things that we talked about, like your rituals, how do you start your day, trying to become robotic, when it comes to trading, because little things can throw you off, how you're feeling. One thing that this book taught me was just to say, if maybe my wife said something to me in the morning before I was trading and I didn't feel great, right? I never really recognized that, but that also could have an effect on you, going into the market, as well. But this is a very, very good book. Definitely check it out. Mark Douglas. It's going to help you with, your rituals, your everyday approach to the market. And it's going to help you grow as a person as well, because you're going to start learning a lot about yourself as you read this book and how it correlates to the markets. Anything you want to add there?
No. I mean, Mark Douglas has a couple good books out there. You may have another one on your list, so I'm not going to say too much more. But Mark Douglas is a very good author, when it comes to trading. If you see any of his stuff, highly recommend it.
Highly recommended.
Yes, sir.
I like that book. So yeah, that one's for me as well. That one is very high. I think I've actually read that more than once. And it is one of those. It's one of those that you definitely, you can get something new out of it every single time you read it. Keep it, it's like one of those Bibles of tradings, I like to call it.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, look at that.
This one's great as well too. Trading in the Zone. I really like this book. Just kind of like the previous one. It kind of gives the same sentiments. Same author here.
Yep.
Which, kind of a thing.
I think this one came second. I'm pretty sure. I'm not positive, but I think this one was the second. They wrote that first one first, and then this one came, but I'm not positive on that.
Yeah, this one, I mean, it has some of the same things, man. Work with your confidence, discipline, get you in a winning attitude. I say robotic, and maybe robotic isn't the right word, but you have to be systematic. Maybe that's a better word to say. You have to be systematic to your approach to the market, because if you're not, if you're not executing in the way that you should be, it's going to get real hard. It's going to be hard to back test the things that you're doing. And you're going to get real frustrated, right? So it helps you identify triggers, I like to call them, that may be holding you back, right? So I really, really love this one. Please put it in your to-do list, to read list. It's a great book. I think it's one of those great ones, especially even if you're not even knee deep in the market yet. It's still, it's a self-help book. I really think it is. Like, that's how it helped me as well too, not only with the trading, but as far as self-help. So I really love that book.
So one thing I took away from this book that I still use constantly is when I'm testing a new strategy, he always talks about testing it 25 times live with no changes whatsoever to your strategy, zero. Like, don't change a single thing. You got to do it 25 times, and then you can really prove it out. And that's something that I actually pulled from this book, and I still use it, at this point whenever I'm testing new strategies. So very good one here.
All right. Going to the next one. This book for me is probably my holy grail. Especially when it comes to all the things that we've already talked about, you know, creating a system, you know, solving your problems, you know, clearing your mind of the greed, the fear, the anger, you know, all of the things that's holding you back from being great in the market, by Jared Tendler. This, the one for me, even puts it over the top even more. I love this book. It's a great book to me. This is another one that I've read multiple times. It uncovered a lot of me when I was struggling. So a little bit about me, especially in my trading journey. It was a struggle because, one, I haven't always been able to consistently trade. So I might trade consistently for 6 months and then not trade again for 2 or 3 months and then try to pick back up. So it's been extremely hard to get back into the groove of trading. But this also in that process helped me, you know, figure out what are the best ways for me to be most efficient, even if I have taken a step away, to create that system, right? So kind of some of the things that you talked about, back testing. Well, one thing that I do before I go back live, I do a week to make sure that I'm seeing what I see and test my strategies over again for a week. And I can't necessarily say it's always 25 trades. When it comes to that, I don't put like a number because I may only take 7 or 8 trades. It's all about how I'm seeing the market. Is my approach still the same? And I'm able to, you know, take and execute the trade. So this really helped me develop that plan. That way, if I did back away, I'm able to jump right back in and keep going like I was. So this book helped me. This is my holy grail when it comes to the books.
Huge fan of this one myself. This is probably my second favorite trading psychology book. I'll wait and see what else is on your list before I say what my favorite one is. But this is my second favorite trading psychology book, without a doubt. He gives some really good strategies, like visualizing yourself in certain moments in the market and how it makes you feel. And he gives you some ways to sort of alleviate those pressures that you feel. And he has some really good strategies to solve those issues. So I love this book too. Very good.
All right. So let's see. What's the next one we got here? Let's see if we can get you again here.
This is all surprise to me too. So
all right. So my next book here by John F. Carter. Now, this is for me a little bit more advanced because this one, you know, is intraday swing trading setups. It's a little bit more technically sound. It's not as much as the trading psychology, which you see. I mean, notice that these books have been kind of heavy that we've had so far. But yeah, mastering the trade. So now we're starting to go in a little bit more deeper into the analytical data and how to read it and set up your trades. I really like this book. I think it's a little bit more advanced. I think that
agreed.
The other books are probably this isn't where you want to start. This is one that you may pick up after you've been trading for a few months, getting comfortable, and then you're trying to now expand, because typically when you start, you're going to start with one strategy, maybe 2 max. But yeah, that's how you want to start. So this one will be a little bit down the line, but I really like it. Really makes you think. So this is one on the list for sure. But like I said, this one is a little bit more advanced. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend right away that this is something that you should get.
Excellent book on technical analysis. I mean, it gives you a lot of technical analysis type tips that are super useful. Love this one too, honestly. It's been a while since I've read it, but I definitely have picked up some things from it. I don't think there's a single book that I've read about trading that I haven't picked up like one thing that I still use today. You know what I mean? So,
and that's the point, right? Yep. You want to be able to take something away that you can utilize in these trades. Okay. Last but not least, we got one more. We got one more. So yeah, this one out of the bunch is a little bit different. But you suggested this one, and I really thought about it, and I really, really like this book. It isn't necessarily a trading book, but it's a habits book. It's in Atomic Habits, right? James Clear. it's an awesome book. I mean, what can we say? You trading, we talking about being systematic. You want to build good habits. And what do I mean by good habits? I mean, simply waking up at 6 o'clock every morning. That's a good habit. Setting up, for your day. I don't know what time people, typically start trading or want to start trading, but, giving yourself time to set up, look at your charts, get ready for the day. I'll be honest, that was something I didn't do. I would literally, when I first started trading, I mean, I would be up, but like I would literally start looking at the charts at 8:30 in the morning. I hadn't looked at anything at night, and I would literally come in at 8:30, and then I'm scrambling because 9 o'clock is coming, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm done by 9 o'clock. It was horrible. I couldn't believe that. Now looking back, I'm like, how did I used to even trade like this? I don't even understand how I used to do it. Yeah, I would not set my day up. I would be rushing, which then what would happen if I started off with a bad trade, I would rush through the trades. Like I would cut them short. Like I would just do some of the worst. So now, I wake up and I go in, I put on my classical music or jazz, but something, that's no words, just straight music that's soothing to the brain and mind, even Beethoven, things like that. Right. And, I start kind of just slowly looking at the charts because I think that these are the things that's setting you up for the day. If you rush through the day, you're going to rush through your trades, right? If you're taking your time, looking at everything, it helps you build up these habits because it opens your mind of showing you things of that nature that you're doing that could be possibly hurting you, in the long run. So being clear-minded and understanding, which we have some things that you can ask yourself, right? Before you would even start trading to say, you know what, maybe today isn't the day that I need to trade. And you'll find that I know I've had them where I'm just like, yo, if I go out here and trade, I'm going to waste money because I'm just not mentally in the space today. Yep. So, and that's okay. Because this is a mental game. I definitely want people to understand that this is a mental game when it comes to trading. So Atomic Habits is definitely, a great book to help you build good habits and break old ones that are bad for you. So, yeah.
It's an easy read, and it'll help you in all aspects of your life, not just trading.
Right.
Great suggestion here. So I guess, is this your last one then?
This is my last one.
Okay. So
I didn't want to overwhelm everybody.
No. We're like that 15-minute mark, so it's perfect. But the one other book I would add to this list, and this is my favorite trading psychology book, and it's called Market Mind Games, and it's by Denise Shaw, and it's very, very, very good. She takes a completely different approach of how she looks at how you deal with your emotions during trading. Very, very good book. Highly suggest that one. That's the only one I would add to this list. Other than that, I think you did a great job here. These are some good picks, especially for some folks just starting out. So good picks, bud. Good picks.
I was trying to, definitely go through the list and think of, what would help people, especially right now, and then just kind of add a couple books as they start to build their repertoire. But
Yep. Cool. All right. Let's want to look at some charts. Let's see here. I'll bring it
Oh
up.
man, yeah. It was a tough day today. I didn't even. Oh no! Hold on. What?
The big move happened here at the end, unfortunately.
Oh
that's what I said. It was setting right up as soon as we got on. The whole time you were talking, it was just driving up and up and up. We got 50 points while you were talking.
That was the whole thing too.
Short squeeze. Obviously, it just happened.
I wanted that trade. I was hoping that we got that trade, but like I said, I wasn't gonna sit there and watch it. And then I would look at the charts from my phone. I'm like, we too far from it. It was like, we'll probably get there Monday. So that's crazy. We got it. Oh, I'm hurt.
Yep.
Oh, that level right there. It hit it.
That's life,
right
man.
on. Wow.
Oh yeah, it went right to it, and then we just started driving from there. It was bouncing, chopping around there right before we got on, and I'm like, oh, this is about to happen. And then there it was. So all
Oh
good.
man.
We'll get a new one tomorrow. Not the end of the world. Or Monday. I forgot today's Friday.
Oh.
Let's look at some dailies. Let's see where we're kind of ending up here now with all that. So we're still in the larger consolidation, really. I mean, this 5807, 5800 area is probably going to be our next key level down. If we start to sell again, which, we're still in that intermediate downtrend here. We had a few down days. We were due for a green bar. I mean, heck, look at all. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reds in a row. I mean, we were definitely due for something to pop. So if we look and we zoom in a little bit, let's go to our 2-hour first. We had all kinds of chop, like we were talking about when we first got on here. So we were building up orders down in there, and then boom, we start coming up, hit that old level. There's probably a lot of people who are trying to short right in there. They got blown out, and so then boom, we just started pushing up and up and up after that. So nice little move there for sure. Let's look at some levels of interest for Monday. I think so. This is our overnight low here. Obviously, that was taken out. For me, since we had this 58.44 that's so close, I probably won't mark 58.47. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So I'll just leave what I have there. So my next down level would be around this 58.43. That's a big bar to overcome. And then I'm probably going to pay attention to this 59.24 and see if we can hold above in this 59.34 to 24, that little area there. That's the old low, and then the low that we made, I think, on Tuesday. If we get back below there again, this move was just a short squeeze move. There's no new buyers coming in at that point, so we'll probably start to flush back down once more. But like we said, we were due for a little up push. Nothing goes in a straight line ever in the market, so not surprising. As far as bullish levels go, you could look at the high from today probably. I'm assuming nothing happens in the next 7 minutes that blows that out. But you could look at that high, and then we have an old one here. I don't love that, to be honest with you. I actually prefer the high for today. It's kind of just a rogue candle. It's just where we were set up yesterday. That's where we had it at. So I don't think that's a huge level really of interest. I think this today's high is going to be more important. Let's have a look at the 30. Just make sure we're not missing anything that's obvious. If you're going for that downside breakdown, you could, if you wanted to wait for some confirmation that that we are in fact getting bearish again, you could wait down to here at this 5,900 maybe. If you don't want to be super aggressive. Me personally, I'll probably start looking short though once we get below the 59.24.
Yeah, me personally, if we start rotating below 59.24, I would be looking, and we hold. I would be looking at
least to come down to that. Yeah, at least to come down to that hold number of 59. So that if anything, this would be a reference for your target. If you're looking for this to break. You can do a quick hitter down to here.
But perfect would be that it holds and continues to push up.
900. Perfect would be we come down here, maybe dip a little below to fool a couple people, and then start to come back up. And then we're gonna probably create some kind of flag here, and then we'll start marching back up the levels. Honestly, at that point, that'll be a fake breakdown, and we'll see where it goes. Then from there, any other areas of interest for you on the ES?
No, like I said, because that 88 area was key for me in the morning session. 58, 88.
Okay.
Where
we had we had a little overnight high there in that area.
Yeah, and kept fighting. Finally broke up right at the morning.
I mean, it was a. This is what they call a megaphone. So look, we got this guy that'll come out like this, and then we got this guy coming out like that. So you can see that chop was just getting wider and wider and wider, basically. So it was a megaphone pattern formed, and we broke it to the upside.
So yeah.
All right, let's look at a little oil.
I didn't do anything with oil today.
Not a whole lot. I didn't do anything. I didn't do
anything with oil today.
Actually, when I brought the chart up, I'm like, I don't even really know what happened with oil because I didn't want. That's how out of it I was with oil because there's just nothing really going down with it. You know, we didn't break any key levels. You know, we attempted to get back that 70, but we took it back yesterday. So that really wasn't a big thing of interest for me.
Yeah.
If we zoom in a little, see what we had marked up from yesterday. I mean, we had a little low that we chopped around at, but yeah, overall, not a whole lot that I loved today. Let's see for Monday. So we got some big wicks, right? We talked about that yesterday. Some big wicks form in here, so there are some interest at these levels at least. 69, 61. Will probably be something good. Bigger. And then this high. Mark that as well. So 70, 29, 70, 30-ish. If we start creeping back above there, especially with this long-tailed candle, which could be considered a hanging man, really, if we start to get kind of work back down into that tail a little bit, especially since we've been in a little bit of a downtrend there. You know, that could be your hanging man, maybe. But if we get it over the 70-30 area, you know, we're probably going to push into the 70-50 area. And then if we get above that, you know, we're probably looking at a nice little run up then, you know, to the 71, 25-ish. It'll probably stop around the 25, somewhere in that area. We don't need this.
So yeah, it just chopped around because so I was looking at the 69.35 area, but you know, this morning it kind of had like a fake out where it broke below it because I have a great level down here at 68.82. But it literally, I'm glad it left me because it really just faked out, dropped down to like 69.15. And then started breaking back up.
Is 82 a POC, open POC?
Yeah.
So it looks like it would be all those overlappers.
Yeah. And so, yeah. And then it started chopping up from there. And I think by that point, I was looking at the ES in that trade. So I just kind of was like,
Yep. Yeah, not same. I didn't do a lot on it today. So, but we got some decent levels maybe for Monday. We'll see what happens. See what happens. Let's look at the gold. So we're continuing to drift down a little bit. Finally, we got the gap zone down here that we talked about a little bit yesterday. Looks like we're starting to sort of creep towards that. You know, we get much closer to. You know, they're probably almost certainly gonna at least test
I did
the
take
gap high.
I did take the long 28.46 that level.
Yeah.
Down there. I think it's probably see it. Might see it a little better on
the 30.
Yeah. But and it right there is where I took a long, nice little winner. Actually,
for me, it'd be from here.
Yeah,
that guy. I mean, we did have a nice little lower high and starting to push up. Now we're going to break. We broke this little area, so there's some support there. So yeah, it could start pushing back up. But if we go back out on the daily, I mean, we're looking a little bearish there, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that was one that I just put it on the chart, and I do that sometimes, and get filled and realize like, oh, it's actually panned out. Oh, okay. No, I mean, because it's a historic level there as it comes down.
Yeah.
So I was looking right there, 2846.3, and it literally came maybe 2-3 ticks past it and turned right back up.
It was a retest. There was a zone there.
It was a zone. I'm like trying to see what day that was, but it was in the past.
February 4th is what it looks like. Yep.
All right, there you go.
And really, you could have had an open POC there too, which we'll talk about when we do market profile. What a POC? It's called a point of control, and that's where the largest amount of volume or the most times price has been traded in an area. Those are usually key things that you can look to trade off of. Which we'll cover that at some point here, but I'm guessing that's what you had off of that there, just looking at what that formation is. So as far as Monday goes for the gold, I'm looking at the downside low of the day, 28.44 on the top. We'll look at 28.78 to continue this little bull run / double bottom that we have right here that happened. We probably want to try to stick above this 28.66. It's doing a little work now. I did some work right before we closed there. So put that purple. I don't really want to trade that per se unless we kind of come up a little bit more, maybe test this 28.76. We have these little highs here. Maybe we'll get a little rejection off of there and then come back down. And then if I see it holding around this area, I'll probably get long then for try to get to that next level of the 28.79. So that's probably what I'm looking at Monday wise for me.
Okay.
Any other areas for you that you're interested in on the gold?
I was looking. Let me see. I just had it here. So. Yeah, that level there we hit. I'm hoping that we can hold. If we're going to start to look to push up, I needed to hold over 28.61, 5 that area.
Yep.
And that will have me start.
And I mean,
yep.
And I just drew the line down here, so you can see where the trend actually has been broken at this point. So
it's been broken. So I'm just hoping that it stays up. And if it does, then we hopefully will start pushing. So then that way we can get to 86.5. Ultimately, in the next couple of days, I'm looking and hoping that we get back up to 29.31. That would be sweet. But I'm hoping that we get back on this way up, which is kind of weird considering how ES and NASDAQ even are down, and it's kind of rolling right down with it. So.
Yeah, I agree. It is a little odd. Like I said, the daily is still, it is bearish on the daily still. So even though we've technically broke this short-term / intermediate downtrend, we got to keep that in mind. So it'll probably be a little choppy. Like I said, I think we'll probably get a little bit of selling around this area here at the 28, 78, 75, 78, somewhere in there. But then if we come back down and hold this purple area at 28.66, you can see then the bulls are going to be firmly back in control at that point. So that would be a safe trade then to probably start taking towards the upside, even on a longer term basis. If you wanted to hold it for a couple of days, you could set your stop below this 28.43 area, and hope to ride it up. I mean, you got a good risk reward profile on that. So definitely a legit trade, a profitable trade for sure, that if you keep taking this long term. Any other products we want to look at all? NASDAQ did pretty much the same thing that ES did. I was watching NASDAQ a wee little bit today just for
look at them.
Giggle. Yeah.
Getting a little comfortable.
just checking it out. So
it moves. It definitely moves, and we're and just like, and it's crazy because it's ES and NASDAQ almost for the most part move identically as far as levels. Like usually they're both around a level. Like right now, I have levels for both of them that they're basically trying to penetrate as we speak. Just like the ES, it's the same thing on NASDAQ. So that's pretty funny. The 29675 was the area that I was looking at the trade on the NASDAQ.
There's lows down there.
Yeah, because even this morning, my whole thing was like, we definitely, if we can just break back above 2850, then we should start seeing a tick to the upside. And then it finally did this afternoon, as you said, as I was talking through the presentation. That was my one that I had been looking for on NASDAQ for sure. But I was like, I guess we're not gonna get there until Monday. And then here we go.
I was playing around this morning. So these are the overnight levels. I mean, we did a little fake above, and we were in Chop City, and then we just came back through and penetrated after that. So yeah, we'll see what sets up then for Monday, I guess.
So you're gonna continue to watch NASDAQ?
Yeah. I mean, I think I'll watch a little bit. It's so similar to ES though. It's like you're almost doubling your position size if you take them both at the same time. So, I don't know. What I was really paying attention to was trying to see which led the other, and actually S&P was leading today. But in the past, when I watched it, NASDAQ has been the leader. So I was trying to see if there's some kind of correlation between the two. If I could catch some hint off of which one was the leader, and then I could bet on the follower. Essentially, that was sort of why I was watching it, not necessarily to trade levels per se, but for more of a correlation type thing. So that was my motivation there.
I've been playing with this trade. I'm gonna have to show it to you as well. So you know how we was talking about the breakout trades that I typically take, and judging on which ones that I'm gonna take. I think I may have something of kind of helping with the breakouts, especially when it's within a low volume area, previous low volume area. It typically shoots through those areas. I mean, I don't want to get too technical because I think we might lose people here, but
we'll have to talk about that one offline first.
Right, we may have to talk about that one offline, but I think I found something else that might be interesting to you.
Cool. Sounds good. All right, buddy. Well, we'll call this an episode, and we'll get back with everyone Monday.
Yeah, and if y'all have any questions, anything you guys want us to talk about, we here. Y'all have a great day.
Yep,
great
weekend
weekend as well.
Absolutely.
And get your reading in. It's time. Read.
Yes.